So we are now recording. So be careful what you say. Um, we have some updates to some things we're doing. We're basically getting started back with our students now. We're able to do some more things in person, as we wanted to share some of those things with you guys of what we're doing, and just let you know where we are with the Rope Award and some other things like that. So most of it's going to be updates this morning and some new programs that we're starting with our students. One of the first things I wanted to talk about, and I don't know how many of you follow us on Facebook or some of our other social media, but for the past 2 weeks, we have started what we are calling the reunion tour. And because we haven't been able to make a lot of contact with our students, especially our college students, we have been traveling to our colleges to see students on the college campuses. And so we've taken all of our staff in a couple of vans and taken some goodie bags to our students. Last week we went to Western Carolina and Mars Hill, and we're supposed to be at UNC Asheville, but we overbooked ourselves a little bit, so we're going to have to go back up there to see our students. And then yesterday we went to Appalachian State, and so far we've seen probably around 30, 35 students, college students, and been able to check in with them, make sure they're okay, just give them a little bit of encouragement, talk to them and catch up with them. And it's been really pretty awesome for us. It's been good for us as well as for them. And so that's been a fun trip for us to do. And it's probably something we'll continue into next year, just because it's a good way to touch base with our college students and give them some support and make sure they know we haven't forgotten about them. We do have other colleges planned. We will be going to UNC Charlotte, Gardner-Webb. We will be going to isothermal. And then we're going to do a road trip in April where we're going to our eastern colleges, and we're going to hit Winston-Salem State, North Carolina A&T, UNC Greensboro, Chapel Hill State, ECU, and Wilmington, I think, are the ones that are on that trip. So we're going to make stops at all of those and see our students, and just again give them some support, and make sure they know we haven't forgotten about them here. So I think the students have loved it, and we've definitely loved it. And that's something I think we'll try to continue into next year. Some of the other things that are going on right now is that for our seniors, and a lot of stuff right now is really focused on our seniors because it's an important time for them. Right now, it is very important that our seniors complete their FAFSA. We did really good last year because we got the push in before COVID hit, and we got so many more students that completed their FAFSA. But this year we are pretty behind in getting our students to complete FAFSA. We did a little push to give them a free coffee if they completed their FAFSA before March 1st, and we got some in. But right now, when we look at the data, we're about 40 students below what we had last year at this point. So if you have seniors and you are able to chat with them, please encourage them to complete the FAFSA. It is a very important process, or step in the process to go to college. It is required for most of their scholarships if they are going to get institutional money from the schools. It's just a very important step. So if you have seniors, please encourage them to do that. They can do it on their own, or they can come into the schools, and either Arnett, Carol, or Celine can help them, or our Davidson advisors can help them do the FAFSA. So our rope students are getting theirs, most of them have theirs done, but we really need to make sure we're meeting with those students and helping them complete that if they need to complete that. Also, Rope Award and Expo Award, both of those scholarships are open right now. We met last week with all of the students who are eligible to apply for the Rope Award and the Expo Award. Well, we had meetings, let me say that. We had meetings for those students. We had pretty good success getting our Rope Award students in. Our Expo students, we did not have great success in getting them to come in for the meeting for that. So I think we've made phone calls, we've sent letters, we've done emails. And so at this point, it is on our seniors that if they haven't come in or they haven't opened their application, then that is on them at this point. And so hopefully they follow through. But if they don't, then that's their responsibility at this point. We've done all we can do to make contacts with those students who are eligible to apply. We are down in our numbers for students who are eligible for Rope Award. Unfortunately, we had about 25 students who were eligible prior to last semester, and their grades last semester dropped them below a 3.0. And we've really not ever had that. We maybe have had one or two that have done that, but never had 25 students who dropped off due to GPA. So that's something I think we're seeing across the board, is that students are struggling with their grades, struggling with their work. And so I think that's a trend that's very troubling, but we've seen it at all levels of our students. But we did have about 5 that did come on, so that's good, that did improve their GPA to get eligible. But right now, the RAPE Award application is open, the Expo Award application is open, the Ron Paris Mass Communication Scholarship application is open, and the Charles Flack Community Leadership application is open right now. They close March 12th, which is next Friday. So they've had about 3 weeks to complete their applications. So again, if you have seniors, and especially if you know that they're eligible for the RAPE Award, please encourage them to make sure they've completed that application, that they've gotten the recommendation, excuse me, and that they've done the things. They know what they're supposed to do. They've been told, they've got it in writing, but just give them some encouragement to do that. Some of you may have gotten asked to do recommendations for them for the RAPE Award. So if you have, those will be due the 19th of March, so the following week, and you should be able to get into the system to see that. If you've been asked to do a recommendation and you don't know how to access that recommendation, you can email or call Leslie Wall, and she will help you with that. Her email is lesliew@rcsnc.org. Somebody type that in the chat for them so they can see that. It's lesliew@rcsnc.org, or her phone number is 245-4339. You can call her if somebody's asked you to do a recommendation and you don't know how to do that. They should have asked you before they put you in there. So you can, like I said, if you need help, just let us know on that. We'll make sure we get you in there to do that. The Expo Award is also open, and it is an online system. And so the students have been contacted for that. And I don't think they need recommendations. Is that right, Carol? Celine? I mean, they don't need recommendations for Expo, do they? Okay. So both of those, or all 4 of those scholarships, are open right now. So we have students filling those out. Are there any questions on the RAPE Award or Expo or the other 2 scholarships? If you have students who have some type of affinity for mass communication, and I've told the students this over and over, that they are a writer, a blogger, they design websites, they work on the yearbook, any of those kinds of things that fall under mass communication, please encourage them to apply for that scholarship. It's a very small pool. They'll only be competing with probably 4 or 5 other students at their school. And so that's $8,000 on top of their RAPE Award. So they will get $4,000 a year if they get that scholarship. And there's one of those at each school. So they're only competing with those students at their school. So we want them to apply for that. And then the Charles Flack Community Leadership Award is the same. There's one of those at each school. It's $8,000 on top of the RAPE Award. And it is for students who have shown leadership in their school and the community. Usually there's about 12 to 15 students per school that apply for that one. So again, it's a very small pool that they would be competing against. And so just encourage students, if you have seniors that you know would fit either one of those categories, encourage them to apply for those scholarships. And those are only open for students who are also eligible for RAPE Award. So those students know who they are. I've given them information, but it does not hurt to have other people encouraging them on those things. The GPS for success. We are also in the process, typically as we are meeting with students, we meet with all the seniors every spring or February, sorry, to talk to them about the scholarships. We also talk to them about our GPS for Success program. And GPS for Success is the program that works with our college students to help them be successful in college. So that's Neil Van Dyke, and he works with those college students. And we usually recruit those students right now at the end of the school year before they become college students, so that we have them and we have their contact information. We don't have a good way to meet with our seniors right now. most of our seniors are those students, I think, that are doing remote for the most part. So if you have students that are going to fall in that 2.5 to 3.0 GPA range that probably are not going to receive rope award, but are still going to go to college, those are our target groups. So if they're not going to get the rope award, but they're still planning to attend some type of college, those are the students that we're targeting with that. So encourage them to sign up for GPS, and they can just contact them at near person. We will help them get signed up for that. But that will just include Neil sending out monthly text messages to them. They will actually get a mentor. That's a different body of mentors that will work with them throughout college and keep touch base with them and check in on them monthly and help them with any kind of issues that they have to help them be successful. So we want to get those students hooked up before they leave high school. So if you have any seniors that you think would fall in that, and even if there's some seniors who maybe they are eligible for rope, but you feel like they could use some extra support, let them know or let us know, and we'll contact them and try to get them signed up for that. It's just a really good support system for our seniors as they go into college, and we're trying to help them complete whatever they're doing after high school. So we could use your help in identifying those students we need to target and getting in touch with some of those students. So if you're working with seniors and you have contacts with them, then that would be helpful. If you can either send names to us or encourage them to contact us for those. Are there any questions on GPS? Okay, we're gonna move through this fast this morning. The other thing that our staff is doing is working with our SCORE students, and those are our student athletes that Doug, Shane, and Brooks, they keep changing on me. Doug, Shane, and Brooks are working with, and they are making contacts with our students. Unfortunately, we've had a good number of our student athletes that have really struggled with grades, and so we're trying to make contact with those students and encouraging them to access extra help as they need it, to come to school if they can, and they are doing some rewards for those students for either maintaining or achieving a 3.0 GPA, passing their classes. So they're doing it a little bit different at each school, depending on what the school needs for those athletes. But they are making contact with those student athletes to try to help them grade-wise do the things they need to do to be eligible to play their sport, but also to be successful in school. So, any questions about SCORE? Look, y'all are gonna be done early and you can go back to bed. Some of y'all look like you're ready to go back to bed. Okay. All right. So some things that are coming up. Another thing, like I said, we are focusing on our seniors. This is a really important time for them right now. We do have some college visits. We have an HBCU college visit, or actually it's our road trip, that we usually do an overnight trip and go visit our HBCUs, which are historically Black community or colleges, universities. Obviously, we can't do that in person, but I think, is it March 31st, I think, that they're going to do that virtually, but they're bringing students in here, and then they will be working with the colleges, and they will be virtual touring colleges, talking to admissions counselors. So those people will be live on the other end, and our students will be able to tour those colleges and ask them questions. Our staff is in the process of contacting students who might be interested in that trip. So again, if you know any juniors that might be interested in the HBCU road trip, please let them know to contact us, or let us know and we'll contact them to make sure we have them on our list to try to get them in for that. Additionally, in April, we've been talking about our seniors, and we usually do the college and career conference in March for students. And what that does is help them get ready for whatever they're going to do after high school. And so our college and career conference is a one-day thing where they come in, but we usually have around 350 to 400 students. And we can't do that right now, obviously. So we were having some discussions about how do we reach those students and what do we do to make sure our seniors are ready for whatever their next step is. And so we are going to do a senior coffee chat, and we are going to set up in a coffee shop in Forest City, Twisted Pear Coffee Shop, for a week. And we are going to let our seniors make appointments to come in, and we'll buy them coffee and just check in with them and see what they need to get prepared for life after high school. And so whether they're going into the workforce, whether they're going into the military, whether they're going to a 2-year school or a 4-year school, we want our seniors to come in and sit down with one of us, and let us just chat with them, be casual, so they'll have coffee, but we'll be able to see that they've got everything done that they need to get done for that next step. And if they don't, what are the things that we can do to help them? So if they're going into the workforce, do they have a job? Do they have contacts? Have they looked at certification programs that will make them more employable? Those kinds of things. If they're going into the military, which usually that kind of stuff is pretty taken care of, but are there things that we can do to help them with that? If they're going to a 2-year, 4-year, what do they need to do? Have they done their admissions paperwork and enrollment things that they need to do? So that will be the week of April 23rd, I think is the week of that third week in April, I think is when it is. But we will be sending information out to our seniors. So again, if you have seniors that you're concerned about, that you want us to try to make extra contact with, make sure that they get in, we'll do that. And we'll send information out to you too, so that when you're texting your students, you can send that information out to them as well and help them get signed up for that. So we can send you the link that you can share with them to help them get signed up for that. We are going to sign them up just so we know that we don't have too many students at one time, that we can socially distance in the coffee shop. But we want, they can come with their friends and that kind of thing and just sort of hang out while we're talking, but it will serve a purpose as well. So we think that the individual attention through that will be a little bit more effective than, obviously can't do large group things, but Zoom is not working. Our students are Zoom fatigued. They're not going to join extra videos and that kind of thing. So we think this will be a way that we can get students in and check in with them and help them for whatever their next step is going to be. So again, we will send you more information about that before April, which is not that far away. But before we do that, so that when you're texting your students, you can share that information with them. Okay, so summer. We typically have 2 summer programs. One is the Shelton Challenge, which is for our rising juniors. That is a week-long program that we have in June. And that is for, like I said, rising juniors that we sort of recruit for that to get students in that may need those leadership skills. And so we do an active recruitment on that, not just an application process. But we did not have it last year. We are going to have it this year. We think we can keep that small group and socially distanced and safe. And that will be in June, I think June 7th, no, the next week, second week in June is when we're starting that. And Jumpstart, which we canceled last year for the first time, I think, in almost 30 years. We are going to have this year. It will be in July. It starts July 12th and goes 3 weeks. That is a Monday through Thursday program each week. It is for rising 9th grade students. So if you have 8th graders that would fit this program, this is for students who are passing their classes but could use a jump start on high school. And so typically the students we target are the students who did not take Algebra 1 in middle school, but again are not in danger of failing, but would need some extra boost or extra support before they start high school, are the students who come to Jumpstart. So when you're looking at your 8th grade students and you have some of those students that you think could use that extra help, you can encourage them to apply for Jumpstart. And again, we'll send that information out to you. So when you're texting students, you'll have the information and the ways they can sign up. Excuse me. Our Jumpstart staff go to the schools and do some of that recruitment in person. And so we'll be doing that as well, but we will have an online link for students to complete an application. That is a 3-week program. Like I said, it is a school day each day. So it starts at 7:45 and goes until 3 o'clock. Our students get extra assistance in math, reading, or English, science, and a college readiness class. They have a physical education class. Excuse me, I'm very sorry. And they also do a service learning project. They do a 4-year college visit. They do a tour of their own high school, so they're familiar with their own high school. So there's a lot of activities going on throughout those 3 weeks. It is on the campus of Isothermal Community College, just in the Reach building over there. But they do a lot with their high schools as well. So all of our staff of that program are from the middle schools and high schools. So it's a staff that they're going to know and that will be familiar to them when they come to high school. So it's a very good program. Like I said, it's an almost 30-year-old program. It's very successful in helping our students get a good head start on high school. So when you're looking at your 8th grade students, if you have them in text messages, when we send that information out to you, you can share that with those students. If you don't have them, but you know there's some students that you think would be a good fit for that program, then again, you can let us know and we'll make sure we make contact with those students and try to get them involved in that program. It is free for our students, and it is, like I said, a 3-week program that helps them get a head start on high school. Okay, and so the last thing that I have, and I'll send out this agenda again so you'll know all the things that we covered for this, but we will have our volunteer appreciation luncheon. Well, it will be a brunch type situation. It will be on May 15th. So we want you to save the date for May 15th. We will be at McNair Field. I think we're going to do it at 10 o'clock so that it's not too hot to be outside. And right now, it may be what we did last year, or it may be in the stadium. We're not sure. So we're trying to make that decision. But whatever we do, we'll make sure that it is within the guidelines and the safety protocols for COVID. But we are going to have something on May 15th for all of our mentors to express our appreciation for this year and the things that you guys have done in this sort of very challenging year that we've had. So make sure you put that on your calendar and save that date. Looking forward for next year, it is my hope that we are going to be in person next year for the school, for the students in the school. And so we are going to look at the different ways that we can either safely bring you into the schools if you are comfortable with that, or if you're not comfortable with coming into the schools, safely being able to bring students into the room and either Zooming you in so that you can talk to students, but we'll still have some control over making sure students are here for you to see in one form or fashion. So we'll be looking at that over the upcoming months. Just again, it will all depend on where we are with the pandemic and the guidelines and vaccinations for people who are chosen to get vaccinations and all the things that would affect our decisions and how we do things coming up. But it also will depend on your comfort level in whatever we can do. And so we will obviously honor that along with everything else with that. So just know that we're monitoring the situation. We know that this year has been hard. It's been hard for our students. It's been hard for us. I know it's been hard for you guys, especially making contact with students that have been hard to contact. It's been frustrating for everybody, but we are going to hopefully be able to move forward next year. And hopefully, at least as the students are here, we'll make sure that you have some way to make contact with them, and we'll have them a captive audience so we can get them in, even if you're Zooming with them from here. That will be easier than trying to do the text message. We've had some discussion about maintaining the text message system. I know some of you have done really well with it. Some of you probably don't love it, but maybe as a supplemental system of being able to send reminders out to students and things like that. So we may maintain our system if that's something that you guys have found useful or would find useful in the future, so that it's supplementing the in-person or the video chatting with your students, not the only system we're using in the future. So we're going to be considering all of that. We'll be getting input from you over the next couple of months as we move forward. And we'll make some decisions, which obviously could change at any moment, just like they have this year. And that's pretty much all I have for today. So you got done quickly with no food and no chatting in between. Are there questions that I can answer? Let's see if I had any questions. Somebody said, I bet the whole 8th grade could use a jump start. That is probably true. We could put the whole 8th grade in there.
I don't have any 8th. I don't think I have any. Well, mine's 7th grade. I don't think I have any 8th graders. But and some other people may have still have this problem, but with my middle school, all I've been able to do really is send out cards. And of course, the announcements.
Right. Yeah, the middle school, because of the limit for them being 13 or older, it's been hard for the seventh grade. My eighth grade, we've been able to get them in. Um, but yeah, middle school has been difficult. Again, this year is probably going to be a wash. I mean, we've done what we could do given the situation that we've been able or been in. And so we've tried to make contact. We've done everything we can do to try to make contact. But I'm hoping that next year, at least if the students are back in the classroom, even if we can't bring you guys in or you're not comfortable coming in, we can bring them into our booths and have them there and you on a Zoom so you can actually talk to the students in person. Does that make sense? So that when we have a captive audience, then we can do a whole lot more with our students, even if you guys still have to text or do things like this. So
I just feel like me personally, that I'm not doing as good a job as what I should by not being able to get a hold of them.
Yeah, no, you can't hold yourself responsible for that. It's been frustrating for all of us. We have struggled with programs because we try to offer things and kids are just they're not engaging in about anything. Even the classes are having hard times getting students on Zoom or coming to classes. I mean, obviously you can see that because of the grades of students, and they're not going to do anything extra. That's the thing we found out is trying to get them to do extra is almost impossible. So that's the reason we've done some of the things where we're actually, even if we're having to do like the college tours virtually, we're bringing the students in to the school. So they're in a class with us and then virtually doing the college tour. So at least they will engage more with that, but they're not going to sit at home and jump on a college visit on Zoom or anything else that we've offered on Zoom really. So it's been a struggle. So I don't want any of our mentors to get frustrated or feel like you haven't done what you're supposed to do or what you should be doing, because it's not you. It's just there's a serious Zoom fatigue. The students have really checked out of a lot of things. Even with my own kids, I have a hard time. They're just not motivated. I mean, it's just hard. And so they need to be back in school. And hopefully we're going to be able to do that safely soon is what we're hoping. I mean, maybe not this year, but at least hopefully next year they'll be able to be back in school. We'll be able to contact them and get back in. I think we're going to have to do a reset. We talked about that, I think yesterday, that it's almost going to be a complete reset of starting, not over, but it's going to be starting back close to the beginning of getting our kids motivated and moving forward again. And we're seeing that in everything, like I say, with the RAPE applications and FAFSA and other things we're trying to get students to do. They're going to be not behind because everybody's behind, but it's going to be a push to get back to the level that we were at before all this hit, with the things we were doing and the way our students were responding.
Monica, I have a question.
Yes.
Where are we at with service learning hours for our underclassmen?
We know that for freshmen through juniors, that we are not going to require more than the 70 hours that we required for seniors this year. The only reason we haven't set a limit for them right now is because we may have to drop it lower depending on how long this goes. So, but for freshmen through juniors who have lost a year of service learning opportunities, then we're going to do at least what we did for seniors, which is drop it to 70. But we may end up having to drop it lower if this goes on for any more length of time that would keep them from having those opportunities.
So it's okay though for them to, if they can safely earn hours, they should be trying to get those hours in.
Yeah, if they can, but we've not been pushing hours because we don't want to be pushing students to go do something that may not be safe. But if you have students or students who have some opportunities to do things, then absolutely they can be earning their hours. But just know that for this freshman class through junior class, we're going to have to adjust those hours down and at least to 70, but maybe even lower if we continue to not have the opportunities that we typically have.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? I do have gift cards for free coffees that we're going to give out. I think we had 5, so I'm going to draw 5 names from the people who are on here. My bucket of names. Sarah put everybody's name in that was on. The first one is a phone number. So if you're a phone number, and you may not want to say who you are because everybody's going to be calling you, is 657-5884. You have got a gift card. I will need to know who that is. So if you want to let us know who that is, somebody's on here with that phone number, 657-5884. That's our first one. Second one. John Moore. You get a gift card. So we will send these out to you guys. The next one. Von Weeder. Ms. Von Weeder, you're on here. You got a gift card? That's
Monica, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are you going to send out suggestions for our March remind text?
Yes.
Or Matrix, I
Yes.
guess.
Yes. We'll get those out first thing next week.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, we will. Candy Bird, you're on here. You've got a gift card. I'm gonna have to unmute y'all because I feel like I need some feedback of yays or something. That's 4. I got one more. All right, these are Post-it notes, so they're sticking together. Okay. John Talley, you got a gift card for a free coffee. All right, so we will mail those out to you guys. We will send out the March text message reminders this coming week. You'll get those first of the week. I think they're basically ready, so we can get those out to you the first of the week. Are there any other questions? Anything else? Okay. Thank you again for joining us this morning. I know that was early. We'll try to move them back to the 9:30s. That's the benefit to y'all to be able to do this on Zoom. We can move it to later. All right. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and spring is coming right around the corner. You can feel it outside. So get outside and enjoy that weather. And we will see you guys soon. Don't forget to save May 15th on your calendar. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Monica.
you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See ya.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Sally Blanton, call me.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you, Monica and team, for everything.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys very much. I know it's been a rough year, but hopefully we'll get back to close to normal next year.
Hopefully. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Bye, guys.